Have you ever found yourself alone and wondered how to truly stay happy in your 70s or 80s? It's not the kind of question most people discuss openly. But deep down, many older adults feel it every single day. As the years gently unfold, life naturally shifts. Cherished friends move to new towns like Silverwood, loved ones pass on, and familiar connections can sometimes fade. One day, you might wake up and realize you have plenty of time, ample space, and a quiet home, but not always the company you once had. But here's a profound truth. Being alone doesn't have to mean being unhappy. In fact, many individuals discover more peace, inner strength, and even profound joy in their solitude than they ever anticipated. In this video, we're going to explore 5 powerful guides designed to help you cultivate genuine happiness on your own, especially if you're an older adult navigating life without a large circle of close friendships or regular social engagements. These aren't just quick tips to get through the day. These are real, meaningful shifts that can bring comfort, clarity, and a renewed sense of lightness back into your life. Each of these 5 guides draws on emotional wisdom, psychological insights, and relatable everyday examples to help you understand not just what to do, but why it works. Whether you're newly experiencing solitude or have been for some time, there's something here that may gently shift how you feel about this next beautiful season of your life. And be sure to stay tuned until the very end, because the final ideas might not only boost your outlook, but completely transform the way you view solitude going forward. Let's begin. Guide 1. Cultivating a meaningful daily rhythm. One of the clearest pathways to feeling genuinely happy while living alone is to create a daily rhythm that provides your life with structure, comfort, and a quiet sense of purpose. When you were younger, the world often dictated your schedule: work, raising children, appointments, social obligations. But in later life, especially when you're living independently, you might wake up and find that no one is waiting for you. No one is expecting anything. That kind of open, unstructured space, if not shaped with care, can quietly diminish your energy. Having a routine doesn't mean your day has to be packed or rigid. It simply means you wake up with a gentle sense of where your feet will go next. Perhaps you begin your mornings with a warm mug of herbal tea and 5 quiet minutes near a sunny window overlooking the gardens of Meadowbrook. Maybe you always take a short, gentle stroll after lunch, or engage in a little light stretching before dinner. These small, consistent patterns create a rhythm, and that rhythm, in turn, fosters peace. It might seem deceptively simple, but your brain finds immense comfort in predictable structure. Just as music needs a beat, life feels steadier when there's a gentle flow to your day, even if no one else is actively part of it. And when you have a general idea of what comes next, you spend less time feeling lost or stuck. You shift from simply drifting to moving forward with a quiet, intentional purpose. Now, this doesn't mean every moment has to be productive. Quite the opposite. Some of the most deeply nourishing routines include moments of genuine rest, like a peaceful midday nap or dedicated time set aside to read a beloved book or tend to your indoor plants. The goal isn't to frantically fill every minute like you're patching holes in a fence. The goal is to honor your day as if it truly matters, because it absolutely does. There's also a profound psychological benefit to deliberately choosing your own structure. It restores a vital sense of control. When you decide how your precious time is spent, even in small, seemingly insignificant ways, you're quietly reminding yourself, "This is my life, I still guide it." That sense of personal ownership significantly boosts both your mood and your self-worth. Especially in a season when external demands may be fewer. Consider the example of Mr. Alistair, 78, who lives in the charming town of Evergreen. He starts every morning by jotting down 3 things in a small notebook. 1 task, 1 treat, and 1 thought. The task might be something as simple as folding a load of laundry. The treat could be a leisurely walk with classical music playing softly in his ears. And the thought? Sometimes it's an inspiring quote. Other times it's simply a feeling he wants to acknowledge. This quiet habit, faithfully practiced day after day, has prevented his days from blending into a monotonous blur. It gives him a gentle reason to rise, and a quiet reason to smile before bedtime. When you live alone, the primary danger isn't just boredom. It's the subtle feeling that your days no longer hold significance. But they do. And a daily rhythm, no matter how small or flexible, is one of the most powerful ways to remind yourself of that enduring truth. You don't need a crowd to feel your own life taking beautiful shape. You just need rhythm and a little bit of heartfelt intention. Guide 2. Cultivating emotional self-reliance. One of the most valuable skills you can develop as you grow older, particularly if you're living alone, is learning how to be your own steadfast emotional anchor. When you're not surrounded by friends or family on a day-to-day basis, there will inevitably be moments that feel incredibly quiet, perhaps a little too quiet. Maybe it's when you return home to an empty house, or when you feel the urge to share something, a laugh, a cherished memory, or even a minor frustration. But there's no one immediately there to hear it. Those are the very moments when emotional self-reliance becomes not just helpful, but absolutely essential. Emotional self-reliance doesn't imply pretending you don't need anyone or that you're an island. It means possessing the inner wisdom to comfort yourself when no one else is physically present. It's the profound ability to sit with your own feelings, whether they are tinged with sadness, filled with peace, overflowing with gratitude, or simply uncertain, and to offer yourself the same gentle kindness and understanding you would readily offer to a dear friend. Many older adults from generations past were never explicitly taught how to do this. We were often taught to work hard, to push through difficulties, to simply keep going. But this current stage of life invites something far gentler, listening deeply to yourself and responding with genuine care. Begin by noticing the way you speak to yourself in your own mind. Are you overly harsh when you make a small mistake? Do you tend to dwell on past regrets or missed connections? Emotional self-reliance starts with becoming aware of that inner voice and consciously softening its tone. Try gently telling yourself, "I truly did my best today," or "It's perfectly okay to feel this way right now." Or even just, "I'm here for myself, I've got this." It might feel a bit unfamiliar at first, but over time, this consistent inner kindness will become your unwavering emotional backbone. Think of it this way. When you were younger, you might have instinctively turned to someone else for reassurance. A friend, a spouse, a sibling. As time progresses, those individuals may no longer be nearby, or perhaps not present at all. But you can still be that comforting voice for yourself. You can recognize your own unique needs and meet them with patience, understanding, and grace. I know a wonderful woman named Ms. Clara, 84, who lives near the quiet town of Whispering Pines. She keeps a small, leather-bound journal where she writes to herself every evening. She affectionately calls it her evening check-in. Some nights, it's a full page of reflections. Other times, it's just a single, concise sentence. "I felt a bit lonely at dinner tonight, but I'm proud I made something warm and ate it at the table." That's all. No one else ever reads it, but she says it helps her feel truly seen. And when you're alone, sometimes what you need most is to feel seen, even if it's primarily by yourself. Another powerful way to cultivate emotional self-reliance is through mindful breath and moments of stillness. When your emotions begin to rise, whether it's sadness, anxiety, or even frustration, take a moment to breathe slowly and deeply. This simple act signals to your body, "We are okay," and it grants your mind the precious time to respond thoughtfully, rather than simply reacting. Over time, these small, consistent practices become steady, reliable tools that can gently hold you through long days, challenging memories, or sudden moments of grief. It's also incredibly important to release any shame surrounding feelings of loneliness. Feeling lonely doesn't mean you have somehow failed. It means you are profoundly human. And rather than attempting to run from that feeling, emotional self-reliance invites you to sit with it, just for a little while. Then gently guide yourself back toward a sense of calm, like steady, knowing hands on a steering wheel. And here's the truly beautiful part. When you learn to genuinely meet your own emotional needs, you become less dependent on unpredictable external sources for your well-being. You will, of course, still deeply enjoy connection when it comes your way, but your fundamental peace will no longer depend solely on it. That, dear friends, is not loneliness. That is profound strength. That is true resilience. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment Solo2 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I highly recommend you do so and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos. Your support truly helps us continue creating valuable content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's continue our journey forward. Guide 3. Discovering joy in small sensory pleasures. When you're living alone, and especially as you grow older, happiness doesn't always arrive in the form of grand adventures or major life milestones. More often, it's quietly discovered in the subtle, everyday details. The comforting warmth of sunlight on your hands as you sit by the window. The familiar, inviting aroma of something delicious simmering on the stove. The gentle sound of your favorite singer playing softly through a small speaker in the corner of your living room. These are the small, yet profound sensory pleasures that many people tend to overlook, but for those who are living alone, they can become the very heartbeat of your day. Your senses, sight, sound, touch, smell, and taste, are powerful, direct pathways to joy. And when you're not constantly surrounded by people, you have a unique and wonderful opportunity to slow down and truly notice what is already abundantly present around you. That warm cup of chamomile tea in your beloved chipped mug, it's not just hydration, it's a moment of pure comfort. The soft, familiar blanket you pull over your legs while you settle in to watch a good classic film, it's not merely warmth, it's a feeling of gentle reassurance. When you pay close, mindful attention to these little physical experiences, they begin to subtly, yet powerfully, lift your mood, without you even fully realizing it. And for many older adults living alone, that present moment can feel like a precious lifeline. You're not dwelling on regrets from years gone by, nor are you consumed by worries about tomorrow. You are simply here, allowing a gentle breeze through the open window to softly caress your face. That, dear friends, is where true peace resides, not in the frantic rush, but in the quiet, profound act of noticing. Try this for yourself. Light a small, comforting candle before you sit down to dinner, even if it's just you. Put on a pair of socks fresh from the dryer and truly feel the exquisite softness against your skin. Turn on a piece of music from your younger years, perhaps a beloved tune from the old melody hall dances, and don't just listen. Allow yourself to remember, hum along, or even sway a little. Let the music wash over you completely. These aren't rewards you have to earn. These are small, tender ways of saying to yourself, I am still here. I still matter. My life is still rich with experience. Let me tell you about Mr. Silas, 86, who lives in the peaceful community of Harmony Heights. Every afternoon, he meticulously peels a single orange and eats it slowly, piece by piece, by his kitchen window. He says the vibrant, citrusy smell reminds him of the home he grew up in, and the taste, sweet, with a delightful hint of sharpness, transports him back to being a young boy in the summertime. He never rushes it. That orange is a daily ritual, a sacred connection to life, to memory, and to a quiet, profound kind of happiness that has absolutely nothing to do with anyone else. There's also something deeply grounding about the sense of touch, especially when it involves things that feel soft, textured, or inherently comforting. That's why so many people, consciously or not, find themselves stroking the armrest of a favorite chair, wrapping themselves in a cozy robe, or gently holding their own hands when sitting alone. It's a fundamental human need to feel physical connection, and you can beautifully offer that to yourself. Warm baths, gently massaging lotion into your hands, even the comforting presence of petting a dog or cat, all of it speaks to a part of you that still deeply longs for care and tenderness. And taste. Never underestimate its power. When you're alone, it can be easy to fall into the habit of eating simply for fuel rather than for pleasure. But taking the time to prepare something you genuinely enjoy, sitting down with it and truly savoring each bite, that can be a profound act of self-respect and self-love. It's not about being fancy or extravagant. It's about remembering that you too deserve pleasure and delight. Whether it's a small square of your favorite dark chocolate or a perfectly... What ties all of this together is one powerful, overarching truth. Your life is still wonderfully full of sensation, even if it's quiet. And consciously tuning into those senses is one of the gentlest, most effective ways to feel truly alive again, not busy, not distracted, but profoundly present. There is immense beauty in the way a gentle breeze moves the curtains. There is quiet joy in a bite of your favorite pie. There is deep peace in the comforting aroma of freshly laundered sheets, in your fingertips softly brushing the rim of a teacup, or in the gentle crackle of a fire on the television screen. And none of that depends on anyone else. It is all yours. By learning to notice and savor these moments, you create a unique and profound kind of companionship with life itself. And that relationship, the one between you and your world, can be as rich and nourishing as any conversation you might have with another person. These simple pleasures don't just fill the silence, they transform the silence into something sacred. And for those living alone, that shift can make all the difference in the world. Guide 4. Connecting indirectly with the world around you. Just because you might not have a large circle of close friends nearby doesn't mean you can't feel deeply connected to others or to the vibrant world around you. In fact, some of the most powerful forms of connection don't always come from deep, lengthy conversations or daily visits. They often emerge from simple, quiet exchanges that gently remind you that you are still a vital part of something much larger than yourself. When you live alone, especially in later life, it's easy to sometimes feel a bit invisible. You might walk through the local market, and no one seems to look up. You might sit at a park bench in the town square, and no one stops to say hello. But here's what I want you to truly understand. Being seen doesn't always require someone knowing your entire life story. Sometimes, just a fleeting glance, a gentle nod, or a shared moment of simple kindness can reawaken that profound sense of belonging. Start small. When you go out for a walk in your neighborhood, try to make eye contact with the people you pass. Offer a gentle, genuine smile. Say good morning or hello. You might not start a lengthy conversation, and you may never see them again, but those little gestures truly matter. Because they quietly say, I'm still here and so are you. Another powerful way to stay connected is to contribute something, even if no one sees it directly. I spoke with a thoughtful gentleman named Mr. Edward, 81, who lives in the quiet town of Green Valley. He makes it a habit to leave small, encouraging notes inside library books. Not long ones, just a line or two. Something like, "This story made me laugh. I hope it brings you a smile too." Or, "You're not alone. Keep going." He'll never know who reads them, but in doing that, he feels a part of a larger chain, a quiet network of human hearts passing encouragement to one another. Volunteering, even in very small ways, is another incredibly meaningful path. Some older adults read stories to children over the phone through a local program. Others knit comforting blankets for hospitals or write heartfelt cards for individuals in hospice care. You don't have to be loud or overtly outgoing. Simply showing up, in whatever form you are able, brings you back into a rich relationship with life itself. It reminds you that you still have something valuable to give. Technology, too, can offer subtle yet meaningful connection. You might not feel inclined to dive into the bustling world of social media, but perhaps there's an online forum or a video comment section where others your age are sharing their stories, reading and responding. Even just knowing that others out there feel similar things, that's a form of quiet community, too. Or perhaps you enjoy sending thoughtful birthday cards to neighbors you know, or leaving a kind, encouraging review for a local bakery or small business. These things might feel small, but their positive ripples extend outward, and in return, you begin to sense the world gently noticing you back. Not with fanfare, but with warmth. What's truly important here is the direction of your energy. Rather than turning inward and closing yourself off, you are extending outward, gently, quietly, consistently. You are saying to the world, "I may be alone in my home, but I am not disconnected." And in return, life has a beautiful way of responding. Think about the last time a stranger did something kind for you. Perhaps someone held a door open or offered to help you carry a bag, or simply said something pleasant in passing. Do you remember how that felt? You have the power to be that moment for someone else. And in doing so, you strengthen your own profound sense of connection. There's also a unique kind of peace that comes from simply being in shared spaces. You don't have to speak. Just sitting quietly at a local cafe, strolling through a museum, or spending time in a community garden allows your spirit a chance to feel part of humanity again. You're not on the sidelines. You are in it, even if it's quiet, even if it's solo. And here's a gentle truth. The world genuinely needs people like you. People who observe, people who appreciate the little things, people who offer a warm smile without needing anything in return. Your presence, your quiet steadiness, your inner strength, it all adds to the rich fabric of the world. So, even if you're alone in your home, your existence echoes outward. Every small act of attention, kindness, or care becomes a vital thread of connection. You don't have to. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment Solo4 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I highly recommend you do so and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos. Your support truly helps us continue creating valuable content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward to our final guide. Guide 5. Keeping your mind curious and learning. When the beautiful noise of social life gently fades, and you find yourself with more quiet time than ever before, one of the most meaningful ways to cultivate happiness is by keeping your mind deeply engaged. Not merely distracted, not simply entertained, but truly alive with curiosity, with learning, with a sense of wonder about the world you're still very much a part of. There's a common misconception that after a certain age, our brains just start winding down, that the season of growing and discovering is behind us. But neuroscience and countless life experiences tell a wonderfully different story. As long as you are breathing, your brain is capable of learning something new, of forging fresh connections, and of expanding its understanding. In fact, many older adults who report feeling the most content are those who have consistently kept their minds open, even when their external lives became quieter. Learning doesn't mean you need to go back to formal school or take on some large, intimidating project. It simply means inviting newness into your mind. That might involve reading a book you never thought you'd pick up, watching a documentary about a topic completely outside your usual interests, trying a new recipe that uses an ingredient you've never cooked with before, or even just listening to an engaging podcast while you're folding laundry. All of these can plant a new idea, a new spark, in your mind. Consider the story of Mr. Franklin, 88, who lives in the serene community of Riverbend Retirement Village. He started painting last year. He had never picked up a brush before, not once, but one day, on a leisurely walk, he passed a small art supplies store, bought a modest watercolor set, and simply began. He says he doesn't paint masterpieces, but every time he dips his brush in water, he feels something profound awaken within him. He's learning to see color differently. He's learning to be patient with himself, and he says the very act of learning, not the finished product, is what makes his days feel wonderfully full again. What happens when you consistently keep your mind curious is this: life stops feeling like it's closing in. Instead, it begins to open up. You start noticing more details. You begin to make subtle connections between things, between past experiences and new ones, between what you've always known and what you're still discovering. That kind of mental engagement gives your mind a vibrant place to go. And when your mind is gently moving forward, it's much harder for feelings of loneliness or hopelessness to take root. Another beautiful aspect of continuous learning is that it profoundly strengthens your relationship with yourself. When you explore new ideas, you're essentially saying to yourself, "I still have questions. I still care. I still want to know more." That's a powerful affirmation, especially in a stage of life where many people might feel overlooked or underestimated. And this doesn't have to be academic or formal. Gardening teaches you something new every single week. Observing the birds outside your window can become a daily fascinating study. Learning a new prayer, hymn, or meditation practice adds immense richness to your spiritual life. Even simply writing down your memories, the stories you've lived through, helps you see patterns, wisdom, and meaning that may have gone unnoticed for years. Keeping your mind active also significantly contributes to your overall well-being. Studies consistently show that seniors who remain mentally engaged tend to have better memory, sharper thinking, and greater emotional resilience. It's not about solving complex math problems or memorizing trivia. It's about staying interested, about allowing yourself to be delightfully surprised by something new. Think about the last time you learned something that made you pause and say, "Huh, I didn't know that." It doesn't matter if it came from a book, a casual conversation, a movie, or even a mistake you made. That moment of realization, that little flicker of curiosity, is what makes your spirit feel young again, and the more you feed it, the more alive and vibrant you feel. In the quiet of your home, you possess a powerful opportunity. You can allow your mind to shrink, or you can allow it to stretch and expand. One path leads to stillness and profound peace. The other, unfortunately, can lead to stagnation and sorrow. And the difference is often just a small, conscious choice: to pick up that interesting book, to watch that intriguing program, to ask yourself that lingering question. So whether it's a puzzle on your table, a map on your wall, or an old memory you decide to write down today, keep your mind gently moving forward. Not frantically, not with pressure, but simply with curiosity. It will not only keep you wonderful company, it will infuse your life with shape, purpose, and vibrant color, even in the quietest moments.
Because happiness alone doesn't come from distraction. It comes from attention, from discovery, from learning that even now, in this beautiful chapter of life, there are still new things waiting for you. And they just might change the way you see the world, or even the profound way you see yourself.
Final reflections. Your enduring spirit. As we gently bring this video to a close, take a quiet moment to reflect on these 5 guides. Which one resonated with you most deeply? Was it the gentle reminder to build a steady, comforting routine? Or perhaps the idea that profound joy can still be found in the comforting aroma of a warm meal or the soothing feel of soft fabric against your skin? Whatever it was, hold on to it. Let it quietly settle within you. Living alone as an older adult can at times feel a bit like being on the outside looking in. But the truth is, this time of life offers a different kind of beauty. A slower, quieter beauty. One that doesn't demand noise or applause, but instead invites deep peace, personal growth, and profound self-respect. You are not less than because you are alone. You are not forgotten because fewer people call. In fact, you may be more in tune with yourself now than you have ever been before. That kind of inner knowing is rare and incredibly powerful. So, wherever you are today, on your porch with a beloved book, standing at the kitchen sink, or perhaps lying in bed with the screen lit up in the dark, know this: happiness is still profoundly yours to build, and it doesn't require a crowd, just a little courage to try something new or to notice something old with fresh, appreciative eyes. And remember, you're not truly alone here. This community, right here in the comments section, is full of people just like you. People learning how to live well, even in solitude. Thank you for joining us today. We would genuinely love to hear from you. Please leave a comment below and share one thing you learned today and how you plan to use it in your life. Your thoughts are incredibly important to us, so please don't hesitate to share them. Reading your comments provides us with immense motivation and encouragement. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please take a moment to like, subscribe, and share it with others. Your support truly helps us continue creating valuable content to inform and inspire you. Thanks for watching, and we eagerly look forward to connecting with you in our next video.